Hello, my name's Chris, this is Blue Kraken Gaming, and welcome back to Satisfactory, where if you are enjoying the series, I would ask that you please consider leaving a like, a comment, or a subscription. Any or all help the channel grow, and they help get it out in front of other people, so thank you very much to those of you that do that. Now, in our last episode, we got on with bottling our nitrogen so that we can bring it over here to load into these bad boys up here, so we can get going with the heat sinks. Yeah, we got the water and everything. Now, part of where we're going to be going with this today is we're not building, or we're not making enough aluminium casings, and these are not at full speed because we don't have enough aluminium. And we don't have enough aluminium because I was coming down here and looking, and we can see we've got some yellow lights, and the reason for that is these guys are fine, but these guys are not able to get rid of their water fast enough. So what we're going to do is we're immediately going to flush this entire pipe network because we don't need all that water. We're genuinely just trying to sink it, is the best way to describe it. But where we are with this is yeah, you're full of water. We could overclock these, but they haven't got the limestone coming in, I think, to keep up with it. Where were we getting that limestone from? Oh, it was all the way over there, wasn't it? Do we have the stuff to upgrade that to a Mark III miner? We do, if we take it down. Okay, alright. Well, guess what we're going to go and do then? We're going to go upgrade that, give us more limestone to work with, and then we're just going to try and upload up that to sink as much fluid as possible. Now we are then going to have to try and balance that to make sure that we right, take that down. That's the only thing, because we've actually taken it down, it means all the existing connections don't stay in place. So I'll pop that back in, give you your overclockers back, up that, but you're going to be pulling it out. Yeah, let's see, it's not even it. Yeah, we've upgraded that, but it's not feeding it. So we're going to need to do that. Upgrade that. And then we're going to need to come in here. We're just going to need to upgrade this all the way along as well. I do like this mining tunnel that we built. I think it looks quite fancy. But I've just got a thing for glass ceilings. Anyone that's watched any of the series that I do, I just really like having the sky open like that so you can see what's going on. Right, so let's upgrade all of this to Mark V because that's the best we've got at the moment. That gets upgraded to Mark V. And then we need to get the lift to go up a level. Because we've sealed ourselves in. There we go. Because that is actually a sealed floor, unlike a lot of the rest of the base. Upgrade all that. Cool, okay. And then you guys need to be overclocked as well, which means we need to come in here, grab our power shards. There you go, do that. Right, so you're now going to handle 250 water a minute. Now, here's the bit. We need to make sure that we still are actually not sucking up too much water. So you need 25. You need 25, so that's 50. Keep count on that. 70, 90, 110, 130, 140, 150. Okay. So that setup there needs 150 kept for it. Okay, that's fine. And you're outputting 78, 120, 120, 120, 120. Okay, alright. So that's 4 sets of 120. So hang on. So we've got 4 times 120 plus 78. Just do that there. But I do need to bracket it and bracket that. And then we're taking 150 for upstairs, which means we need to somehow be sinking 408. Okay. So you're doing 250. So that's now 350. 450. Okay, so we're actually overdoing it slightly. This needs to be down a bit. Oh, that actually... That's 408, isn't it? To be fair, you're not going to be able to keep up with that because you've got a Mark 1 pipe. So we're going to need to upgrade that. And then I think what we do is we can put a valve on there. To say that needs to handle 408. So if we limit that to 408, and then this gets cut down, I need to bring it down to 208. There we go. That should be exact then. I don't mind being stocked up on limestone there, but that should hopefully then let this sink, get rid of all of its water. Yeah. That's looking good. You're struggling on coal. Okay. Do we not have like tons of coal trains coming through? Yeah, that coal bucket is full. Okay, so that means it's going to be something on the logistics floor. Yeah, we can upgrade that. Let's upgrade that entire line. Okay. So let's go do that. Then that should hopefully sort out some of those problems. Oh, the lifts were such a good addition. Right, okay, so you're now bringing the coal up. So if we upgrade that to a Mark 5 line... There we go. That's hopefully going to make sure that that end one then gets all the coal it needs. So we can check that by going up on the lift. How are you now looking with your coal? Healthier. Good. Good, 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 good. Alright, so that's then going to hopefully help out with the aluminium. Why do I see some yellow lights over here? It's because you're not keeping up with the scrap. Scrap is not being fed to you fast enough. I mean, I really don't know what to do around that, because we mathed all this out when we built it. And that is supposed to be getting everything it needs. You've now gone amber, I'm guessing because you're out of water. No. No, that's going to be because that line is absolutely not upgraded to handle the throughput that you're going to have. Okay, cool. There you go. So that's going to hopefully let that one flow better. Why did that stop? Oh, because it needs a ridiculous amount of limestone. I bet that's got like a Mark 1. There we go. That should let you suck in enough limestone. Okay. You guys still only need 120, that's fine. So you've got the correct limestone count for you. That's letting that flow through with that. Hopefully we shouldn't see any more slowdown then. Right. Just gotta hope we've rebalanced that properly and we don't see an issue anywhere else. I don't mind if, like, this stuff up here gets backed up, but we can't have the water getting backed up. Okay. That's now looking green. That's flowing better. That's got its own water supply, so it doesn't care. Right. That's hopefully going to speed you guys up. You're at 100%. You're at 100%. Cool. Okay. So that has sped up our aluminium casing supply. Look, that's already got 150 in there. That's got 1,000. Yeah, that's going to help. Right. We then need... I'm missing high-speed connectors. Sounds about right. I am relying on the Awesome Shop a lot more this year, or this season, than I did last season. Mostly just to buy bits I don't have on hand. Right, where are the high-speed connectors? There they are. Right, buy...
Fix-It is not responsible for personal damage, environmental damage, psychological damage, or lowered standards that may result from use of these products. Enjoy your purchase.
Okay, so... we've got to figure out how we're going to try and get this in. So what I'm thinking is... if we come to walls and we do a conveyor wall, where is your... your out is here. Ideally needs a 2 conveyor wall to line up. That's not going to fly. So we're going to put that there. I'm going to take this over. And we're going to move it over 1. Nope. There, I think that's it there. Okay. Then you're going to be coming up like this. That looks good. You're going to be coming up like this. That looks good. I need to paint that, otherwise it's going to bother me. We were on chrome finish on this one. There we go. Okay. So then now... we can go... oof, that is going to be tucked against that wall. Splitter there. Splitter there. Okay. So you're going to go into there and then in like that and in like that. Apparently I'm getting in there. Okay. Cool. Good. Nothing's clipping through. Excellent. Right. So then that's all that's sorted out. And then we need to return the empty bottles from... oh no, that was what that was doing, wasn't it? Okay. You're going to go in there, and then in there, and then in there. Okay. That should work. Famous last words. Right, just put these walls here. Because then we can run that power along here. Into here, you need a drone, which means I need 2... where are we? Equipment workshops. I need to get 2 of the auto miners. I can understand why you take these now, because if you can just make these and just have them in the dimensional depot, that's so useful just to be able to throw them down and build them like this. Right, okay, so this is going to be Apparently my caps lock's turned on and I've lost track of all of what I'm typing on. Coolant. Nitro in. Right. This port is going to bottled nitro out. Yeah, that should just be it. So that should... Not enough fuel. Okay. Oh, we've got fuel at the other end, haven't we? Okay. Yeah, you're getting your fuel at the other end as well. Okay. Well, that just means we need to grab a chunk of fuel, throw that in there. Which should let that then get going. Okay. That's then the nitrogen, in theory, sorted. We haven't sorted the water for this yet. We do also need to get power up on this floor. Which means, oh yeah, that's going to be done via the lift. Right, transport, lift floor stop. There we go. Cool. Right, and then we'll grab these walls. Purely because I don't want to have too many random power poles floating around. So I'm more inclined to use these wall ones until I absolutely have to come off. Now, I think we used ceiling ones quite a lot last year. Or I say last year, last season. But I don't think we're in a position to... I suppose we could, but that might be better done by when we replace them all. Right, okay. That's now going to get all that done. You're going to start doing all your bottle looping, which is good. Okay. Water. Water is the next thing we're going to need to get up here. And oh boy, oh, is that going to be fun. Because look how far we've got to try and bring it up. I mean, it's not going to be too dissimilar as last time. Other than, look how far we've got to bring it up. Okay. So, let's get the lift, or at least try and get the... okay. Yeah, no, we haven't really got a lot of room to try and move over much further. Right. Now, from memory, we don't need too much water. How much are you guys using? You're using 22.5. So you're using 90 water? I mean, we could just keep pushing this one up. How much do we need for the new one, or the sets up here? That's the other thing we need to answer. That I don't have in my head from last time we were doing this. So that's another 90, so we need 180, which one of those can't do. I think one of those is 120 when it's fully overclocked. Okay, alright, which means we do need another one. Fine. So let's run the pipe down. Oh, this is so much easier with the hover pack. Okay. And then we'll pop another one here. We will grab you. Do that. And then we try and do the same thing. Level that there. Yeah, horizontal to vertical works for me there. That looks good. Right, how much are you outputting? 120. Lovely. Oh, which means they could do 300 if I overclock them. That would... If we did that, that probably would use less power overall if we overclock this one. So if I need that to do 180, well, that's that. Okay. What we then have to work out is how we're going to split that here. And I think what we're going to have to do is cut this temporarily. Go past. And then we'll need to put that in like that. And then that in like that. Is that then gonna... I mean, that seems to still be pulling stuff. Okay. I mean, there's still water in these pipes. Okay. Cool. And then we'll just continue to bring this up. Now, here's where it's going to get interesting, because this is meant to be exposed, so we're not going to have a wall here. We are just going to have to try and bring it around like this. But I want it to look neat at the top, and that kind of kinks out. That looks better. So we'll do that. Okay. Pop that there. No, because you're objecting that you're in the... Yeah, that's fine. We'll pop it just before. Because I don't want to risk anything weird going on with any clipping or anything where it's going into a... like a collar there. Okay. And then... Not curve. If we do straight... Do that. Push it back to... Because then we can follow this line straight down here. Okay. And then now we're going to go up on this. Now, I think we're going to have to go a little bit higher. No, actually, we don't. I don't want to do that at all, because we want to come in from this side over here. So we want to take all of that out, actually. And then you're going to go up to there like that. You're going out like that. Okay, so then if we come in here, we grab this to go there. We can put the wall hole here. Take that out. Take that out. Now that that's lined up. That's going to go straight in there like that. Lovely. If we line that up. Back to... This looks like our first bit of nitrogen coming in. Why is that an invalid shape? Fine, you can do that with auto. 900 bottles of... Oh, no, not... Okay. We have tons of nitrogen and actually a little bit of empty nitrogen tanks going back. Well, that's good. He shouldn't do anything unless he can unload his entire cargo, though. which he has, and he's taking that 99 back. Beautiful. Right, so this is then going to be here, like this. And then can you fit in under like that? That looks good. That looks like it's getting water. And we have water. Okay. So that looks like, yeah, we started making cooling units. Nice. Okay. So now we need to get the outputs for that done. So we're going to have mergers. No, not a priority merger. A normal merger's fine for this. Cool. And you're doing what? 6 a minute. Lovely. How on earth did I do that? Right, and then we can throw in our industrial storage. I'm going to kind of link that back on itself because I've got a feeling we're going to be making turbo motors next up here. And I don't think the cooling systems, what do they get used in? So they're used in turbo motors and the thermal production rockets. Okay. So that's all I'm going to need for those at the moment. That's going to need... Oh, we're going to need to make radio control units. We're not making those yet. We're not making crystal oscillators yet. I feel like we've skipped some steps. I really do. So I think we're going to have to be... See, that's now going quite nicely. You've got a load of nitrogen. I'm taking the empty bottles back. Yep, that's going quite nicely. You guys are at... You're at 100, you're at 100, and you're at 100. Lovely. Well, that looks like that's working perfectly then. Yeah, so I think we're going to have to circle back and do some crystal oscillators next. And go down the... go down that path. But that's going to be picking up for next episode. So I'm going to wrap up as usual and say, as usual, likes, comments, subscriptions, they will help the channel grow. They help get it out in front of other people. So thank you very much to those of you that do that. Thank you very much to my YouTube channel members. Your support is very much appreciated. And please don't forget that as a supporter, you do gain access to the save files for any of the open world games I'm currently playing, along with early access to the videos, so you get to see what's going on before anybody else does. Also, don't forget, you guys do have your own series, the Oxygen Not Included series. So don't forget to watch that. If you are interested in watching that, you can become a channel member. I think I've set the base level at like £1, but everyone gets the same benefits regardless what level you choose to support at. But like I say, thank you all very much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you all next time.